physics is my favorite subject. Therefore, it was no wonder that in my first internal college physics test, I received a grand total of 7 out of 100. Full of righteous indignation, I picked up the paper, went home and took it to my father and said, "Look what they're doing to me! Look at this worthless college!" He took a look at the paper and said, "Son, I agree with you. The college is pathetic. This doesn't deserve more than a 0. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I completed my O-levels at Beacon House Public School, Quetta. There, I was a darling of the teachers, and therefore, a pariah among the students. But I didn't mind. I hated them back. I hated my friends. I hated the world. I was 14. From this cocooned and comfy existence, I then joined Federal Government Degree College, Quetta for my FSc. It was as if an innocent kitten had been set loose among the wolves. Everything was alien. The classrooms contained at least 90 students each. Corridors opened into more corridors. Vultures roamed above a desert sunlit sky. All sorts of creatures roamed among the sand. But none more scary than our professors. Our teachers. They looked reasonably human. But after every semester, they shed their skin and sprouted a new pair of fangs. Let me take you to our physics class, where our teacher is handing out the results to our test. 90 of you sit before me. Not all of you will be lucky enough to be engineers. Someone has to be a carpenter. Someone has to be a housemaid. Here are your results, housemaids and carpenters. From here we travel to our Urdu class, where once again our Urdu teacher is distributing test results, and he is holding up a paper. This paper belongs to Talha bin Hamid. I believe he has the best command of language in the class. I inflate a little bit, look around at my friends, expecting an ode to my brilliance. But unfortunately, he continues. The problem is Talha's writing is so pathetic, I couldn't read a word. Take this paper back. I cannot mark it. Our English class. I'm sitting with my friend, writing an exposition on a poem called The Traveller. Just a tiny problem. The title of the poem is all I know about the poem. I haven't read it. But I put my pen to paper. Writing about a traveler lost in the desert, hungry and thirsty, dying. And then I spied our teacher, clad in a black shawl, going up and down the aisles. And inspiration struck. Our traveler meets a witch, clad in a black shawl, who offers him all the food and drink in the world in exchange for his soul. Naturally, our hero refuses and dies a miserable death. The tests came back. Guess who got the highest marks? Yours truly. I'd be remiss if I don't mention the historic leave application though. I went to submit it to our principal. First page extolled the virtues of the principal and the college. The second described some worrisome symptoms I'd experienced a few weeks earlier. The third detailed a list of my illnesses. Everything from diarrhea to pancreatic cancer to a displaced vertebra. The fourth was a pain to the principal to allow me the leave for next day, which would surely result in health and prosperity in this life and elevation of his ranks once, he passed away. The principal looked at the application. His bulbous nose rose until it threatened to block his eyes. and he asked, "What on earth is this?" I replied, "Sir, it's a leave application, I guess." He took a sigh and then scrawled the line of mutant maggots, otherwise known as a signature, over the leaf. Approved! Mission accomplished! In short, my stay in college was a little bit like a visit to the zoo. Everyone was louder than everyone else. We met everyone but never really knew anyone. No one taught anything, no one learned anything. And no wonder, when I passed out on my last day, stepped out of the gate of my college and looked back, I shouted words that started with an F and ended with a U. Farewell, youth!